Good evening to all our participants for joining our talk on the knowledge and awareness on noise pollution in related to insomnia among MSc students. Before we start our talk, I would like to first convey our deepest gratitude to all our participants for joining our talk this evening. Our team are very much thankful and appreciative for your time and your energy for joining this talk. Before we start, let us introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Kaitri Vasanta Kumar.
Hello, I am Aishwini.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatin.
And my name is Pariza.
My name is Shafika.
And I'm Akila.
And today we are going to start on the talk on the knowledge and awareness on noise pollution in related to the insomnia among MNC students. We'll start off with introduction by Akila.
So I will start now. So you guys might have heard about noise pollution before. So what is noise pollution? Noise pollution is unwanted or excessive sound that can have a negative impact on human health, wildlife, and also the environment. There are three main sources of noise pollution, which are highway, railway, and also airplane traffic. Next, I will pass to the next person.
Before that, let me talk about the sleep patterns. Before I talk about what are the sleep patterns that can cause noise, because of noise pollution, the sleep pattern is interrupted in a good sleep, and what is uninterrupted in a good sleep. So firstly, what is sleep pattern? We have 4 stages of sleep pattern briefly before I talk about the sleep patterns in exposed noise pollution and not exposed noise pollution. The first stage is the first stage of sleep pattern. The amplitude is lower and the frequency is higher. So that's when your body is starting to focus to sleep. In the second stage, your muscles become more relaxed, your heart rate will become lower, and your body and your brain is preparing to be in the sleep mode. The third stage is when the amplitude is higher and your frequency is lower in your sleep waves. This is where we call deep sleep wave or slow sleep wave, where your body is preparing to go into the rapid eye movement sleep. In this sleep is where call it your dream state. That's where you start dreaming. So in all these 4 stages, all these 4 stages is very important for you to experience, for you to have a good night's sleep. And let's say if one of the sleep become interrupted, whether be stage 1 or stage 4, where is your rapid eye movement, it can cause you to have insomnia. So what happens if you experience all 4 stages in your sleep? Firstly, you would have easier time falling asleep because you don't have any sound around you that causing you to be awakened or causing your signals to be interrupted. Secondly, you have fewer awakenings because you have complete silence. So you don't have the stutter or any interrupted signals that causing your brain to suddenly be awake. You have normal sleep stages like what I have mentioned in the sleep pattern, and you have better sleep quality. So if you ask me, sleep pattern stage 2, if I'm not mistaken, is very important because it really puts you in a deep sleep and it progresses to sleep stage number 3. That is why you will get better sleep quality. And also, sleep is very important, not only because it helps you prevent insomnia. Insomnia can also lead for secondary diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, which can also be by sleeping well, you can have a positive impact on your health. Let's say you do not experience a good sleep pattern because of the noise pollution around you. You will have difficulty falling asleep. Obviously, you cannot sleep if you hear any truck noises in the traffic or aircraft noises that can cause for you to get interrupted when you're sleeping. And you'll have more frequent awakening. You are not being able to relax, and your focus will be diverted because all your body starts to get the signal from your brain, causing you to be awake. And then you'll have changes in sleep stages. Like I said, if you get interrupted in sleep stage number 2, you cannot progress to your sleep stage number 3, and so on and so forth. And you have poor sleep quality, which can cause you to have lower performance in your everyday life, whether it be academic or your work performance or your day-to-day basis life. And because of insomnia, insomnia is a major health problem that can actually cause you to develop other secondary conditions, like I've mentioned prior, like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and because of the poor sleep quality can cause your hormone levels to be changed and can cause your glucose level to be increased. That can cause diabetes. So that is why sleep pattern is very important very important, so that noise pollution should be reduced. I would like to pass to the next person.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Aishni. I will actually first start with the impact of how basically noise pollution can actually, so all we know now that noise pollution actually leads to insomnia. So with that being said, let's take a look on how it actually impacts on your daily life in terms of how it gives off negative impacts on your physical health, your mental well-being, and also your behavioral as well. So firstly, let's take a look. Right. So as for physical health effects, it actually causes firstly like fatigue. So basically insufficient sleep results from noise pollution can actually lead to chronic fatigue, impairing physical performance and increasing the risk of accidents as well and injuries with that being said. So with addition to that, it also can cause weakened immune system. So how can it cause weakened immune system? You might be thinking sleep causing weak immune system. How does that actually put together? So basically, as for weakened immune system, so during sleep, the body actually produces and releases cytokinins. Okay, so it's basically a type of protein that actually helps regulate immune responses. And with that, when the sleep is actually deprived, in which it's disrupted, okay, this process actually leads to decreased production of cytokines, sorry, which in turn can actually impair the body's ability to mount an effective immune response against the pathogen. And with that being said, sleep deprivation activates the body stress response and also leads to an increase in the production of basically hormones that I believe you all have heard, such as cortisol and also adrenaline. So this chronic elevation of these stress hormones can actually suppress your immune function and also making individuals more vulnerable to the infections and illness as well. Okay, now let's take a look at how it actually leads to cardiovascular issues. It also can lead to cardiovascular issues. So sleep deprivation actually activates the sympathetic nervous system. So, and as we all know, the sympathetic nervous system is actually responsible for our flight and fight response. And this actually leads to increased production of stress hormones such as cortisol and also adrenaline again. Such as cortisol and adrenaline, they can actually elevate the rate of blood pressure. So with prolonged activation and long-term effects of the activation of, the increase of rate in blood pressure of this can actually activate your sympathetic nervous system, which actually can contribute to chronic hypertension and which also states as a high blood pressure and is basically a major risk of cardiovascular disease. Apart from that, the chronic sleep deprivation is also associated with sustained increase in blood pressure, both during when you're awake and also when you're asleep. So elevated blood pressure can actually, when it's left untreated, it actually can lead to like what I've mentioned here, like heart attack, stroke, and also hypertension. So yes, therefore it can also, apart from that, one major thing, a major thing that it can actually lead to is diabetes. And how is basically because of the dysregulation of the glucose metabolism due to from the sleep deprivation. This also can risk in developing type 2 diabetes specifically. All right, now apart from that, it also causes digestive problems. So how it causes digestive problems is basically the sleep deprivation. It actually activates the body stress response, which actually leads to a level again of cortisol and adrenaline. And because of this, there is gastric acid secretion and also altering of inflammation. And this can also contribute to symptoms such as heartburn, indigestion, and also abdominal discomfort as well. So with that being said, those are some digestive problem. Apart from that, apart from physical health, let's take a look on mental well-being. So as for mental well-being, it can actually trigger stress response. And because so why trigger stress response is because adequate sleep is actually essential for maintaining a balanced neurotransmitter in the brain. So including serotonin and GABA. So GABA is basically GABA amino butanic acid. So this involves in mood regulation. So with that, when that is disrupted because of sleep, that actually affects and leads to stress and anxiety. Apart from that, it also leads noise disruptions can also lead to depression as well, because there's something called hypothalamic pituitary adrenal, which is HPA axis. This is the body's central response system. So when that is basically, it releases cortisol and adrenaline as well. So when that is dysregulated, this also technically leads to depression. So yeah, and last but not the least is cognitive impairment. So as for cognitive impairment, this actually plays with your when it's the sleep deprivation, this actually plays with your function, cognitive function, including attention, memory. So you might feel very irritable, very very you can't focus on one thing at a time. So that actually also triggers your cognitive impairment. And lastly is behavioral effects. So how it actually, when firstly is impairment judgment. So sleep deprivation can actually impair judgment and decision making ability. So how it does is that the individuals that experience sleep deprivation, they actually may likely to engage with risky activities. So risky activities, this actually triggers them to make impulsive decisions. So we know what is impulsive actions, impulsive thoughts. So that is actually what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, lastly is also social withdrawal. Decreased productivity. They might experience with decreased productivity. They might feel very weak in doing something, very very frustrated in doing something because of lack of knowledge on a particular activity. Next is social withdrawal. So as for social withdrawal, it actually basically leads this individual to withdraw themselves from social interaction. They will feel like not making friends. They would feel very you feel a lot of loneliness as well. So those are some impact on daily life. Okay, so those are basically some of the impact on daily life. Now moving on to the coping mechanisms. All right, so how do you want to cope with this? So when you experience with this, how do you want to cope with it? So what can you employ in order to cope with noise disturbance during sleep hours, or any sorts of life changes to mitigate these effects on noise pollution leading, or any sorts of techniques? Okay, let's take a look on that. So with that being said, firstly is environmental modification. So environment modification improves like soundproofing. So you can soundproof your you can actually install soundproofing materials such as double glazed windows, heavy curtains. And so because this actually creates an indoor barrier between the indoor and outdoor, this actually promotes not promotes, it actually helps with the noise disturbance that you get during your sleep, and it creates a quieter environment for yourself. So that is one. Next is white noise machine. So what is white noise machine, you might be asking? So white noise machine is basically, or it comes in app forms too. It's a consistent background noise that actually, it kind of masks the noise that actually comes. Okay, and apart from that is earplugs. Earplugs, we all know what is earplugs. We can wear earplugs to actually block out the noise disturbance effectively. Next is fan, air, and purifier. You might be thinking, how fan, and why air purifier, how it actually helps with sleep. So basically the fans, they actually circulate air throughout the room, and this actually helps maintain a comfortable temperature. So there's proper ventilation, humidity level. So this actually leads to like a more there's no overheating, there's no feeling stuffy during the night, right? So with air purifiers as well, it actually ensures cleaner air for breathing. So with that being said, that actually helps with some of the coping mechanism. Next is bedroom optimization. So as for bedroom optimization, there's optimal sleeping environment, maintaining a optimal level of temperature, light intensity, and so on. Next is darkness. So as for darkness, you can obtain such as habits like blackout curtains, blinds to create a darker room. This actually triggers the release of melatonin actually. So with that melatonin being released. This basically leads to an increased melatonin production, which actually promotes drowsiness, so you feel much more sleepier, right? And next is establishing sleep routine. So a consistent sleep schedule. So create a consistent sleep schedule, adapt to that sleep schedule, I would say. And next is relaxation techniques. Relaxation techniques are like yoga, meditation, and so on and so forth. Next is, last but not the least, is lifestyle changes. Yes, so lifestyle changes like health, sleep hygiene. You can what is healthy sleep hygiene is basically you can avoid drinking alcohol, avoid caffeine, because as we all know, caffeine tends to make us stay awake. So eliminate that out of your if you're experiencing with that. So yeah, that is a healthy sleep hygiene. Stress management is basically how you cope with your stress. Just deal with stress in a better way. Okay, have better strategies in dealing with stress management. And last but not the least, seeking professional help. And why seeking professional help is because, firstly, consult a sleep specialist. Why consult a sleep specialist? Because when the noise pollution related insomnia actually persists, this actually you can actually consult a sleep specialist, and they can advise you on further treatments as well. And last but not the least, if it comes to a scenario where you have to take medications, then that is also a way. So in some cases, medications are, or supplements may be prescribed by these sleep specialists as well, and they can actually elevate your sleep disturbance and caused by the noise pollution. But this should only be under medical supervision, meaning that this only if you're prescribed, take this medication. So with that being said, that is all from me. I'd like to pass it on to the next team member. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to talk about the hearing decibels suitable for humans. Apparently, 70 decibel is the decibel that is suitable for humans, 70 and below. That is safe for you to hear in a longer noise exposure timing. Let's say you have 70 to 85, I would say decibel, I would say that is moderate. But but in a longer time span, it would actually cause to gradual increase of hearing loss. And if obviously if it's 85 decibel and above, it can actually hear hearing loss. So how can hearing loss happen? Is because the sound waves, and you not necessarily are hearing the noise, also sometimes can be drugs, but we're going to specify more on the decibels sound around you. Increase 70 decibels and above on a longer time span can actually cause the hair follicles in your brain that can lead to your auditory pathway, leading to the signals to your auditory cortex. The hair follicles and the nerves can actually deteriorate. So that is why, not only that, hearing loss, that it can also interrupt your brain waves, like I've mentioned before, this in your sleep pattern, to be interrupted, and it can actually cause a detrimental risk to your sleeping because of these high hearing decibels. It's advised not only aircraft noises, or like I've shown in the diagram here, like aircraft noises, or like neighborhood noises, loud music. Also wearing earphones at a higher volume and sleeping. Let's say if you're like scrolling TikTok or like your social media, or you're listening to high volume noises to sleep, can actually not necessarily help you, but actually make it worse when you're sleeping. So unless you listen to white noises, because their decibels are lower, they have like a lower frequency with a higher amplitude that can actually trigger better sleeping. So you can see here normal conversation 60 to 70 decibel. That is a normal safe hearing decibel for a human. Lawnmowers is still acceptable. Sports event surprisingly can actually affect your hearing. Not to say if it's like a shorter time span, it's still safe, but if it's more for a longer period of time, can actually cause hearing problems. Especially when you have hearing problems, you can actually have a hard time falling asleep. Same goes for sirens from emergency vehicles. Not only that, maybe sound traffic noises like car honks and engine noises, and actually fireworks can also cause fireworks and aircraft noises plays a big role in affecting and interrupting your sleep. That is all from me. I would like to pass to the next person.
Okay, hi everyone. And next I will present about the environmental concerns by local authorities, especially in some areas. For example, in Shah Alam. So the first concern is the local authorities will establishing noise pollution regulations. Okay, so um by next is implementing noise barriers like walls, fences, or sound absorbing materials, especially along the highways or busy road and residential areas. The second one is local authorities will implementing traffic management strategies, especially in the morning when when busy road happen. For the road user will use the highway to go to the work. Next is engaging in public education campaign. Like school or university do the campaign to reduce the noise pollution. Moreover is incorporating noise considerations into urban planning, especially in the especially for the contractor who want to book the new residents, needs to do the urban planning well. Next is creating green spaces and natural elements like to green spaces like plant the tree will absorb and block out the noise. Lastly is implementing noise monitoring and reporting system. This noise monitoring can be done by the residents company and the resident itself. So I think that's all for environmental concern by local authorities. Next, I will pass to my group mate to continue with what is insomnia.
Okay, now that we have covered what is noise pollution, let's move on to insomnia, as noise pollution causes insomnia. So insomnia happens when you do not have enough sleep as you should. So that could indicate that you are not sleeping enough, aren't sleeping properly, or are having difficulty falling or staying asleep. For some people, insomnia is just a minor inconvenience, and for some other people also, insomnia can be a severe inconvenience. So there are a few symptoms of insomnia that I would like to share. So firstly, it's like having trouble sleeping at night, like you are quite difficult to fall asleep, maybe because you are disturbed by the, like, for example, I'm staying at besides highway, so the traffic sounds is like kind of disturbing, so it causes me to have trouble in sleeping at night. So that is like the few examples of having trouble sleeping at night. So next one is like waking up in the middle of the night. Maybe the sounds that created like make you feel disturbed during your sleep, so you woke up like in shock version of waking up in the night. So next one is like you woke up too early and then you experiencing fatigue or sleepiness during the day. Since you didn't have enough sleep, your body tend to get very tired and you cannot go through your day like a normal day like other people, and then you feeling irritable, depressed, or nervous, and then you will have difficulty paying attention, concentrating on tasks, or remembering. and you tend to make more mistake or misshapes, and then you are constantly concerned about your sleep. So there are a few risk factors, and I would like to pass to my friend to explain about the risk factors of insomnia.
So I will continue the last part of insomnia, which is the risk factor of insomnia. The first one is environment. Is actually like our title stat, which is the noise pollution. When we have like excessive noise exposure or light exposure, it can interfere with our sleep that can lead to insomnia. Next is age. Actually, insomnia can occur at any age, but it will like increase the chances of getting insomnia as we getting older. And then the third one is family history and genetic, because just some insomnia, it can run in family because of the genetic component. So like our genetic can influence whether we are actually deep or light sleeper. And then the last one is lifestyle habit. Is like if our lifestyle that we do in daily life can contribute to the insomnia. And then the last part is impact of insomnia. It's just the same with the impact on daily life. So I will just talk back. The first one is actually physical health risk. Uh, Insomnia can lead to like weakened immune system and then chronic disease like diabetes, and also it can also make us gain weight. And then the second one is reduced quality of life, because overall insomnia will impact our physical health, emotional, and also our social interaction. The third one is impair performance. It can affect our performance in school when we doing work and stuff. The last one is mood changes, because when we have lack of sleep, it can affect our mood. So they will have mood swing and also increase of stress level. And then this chronic insomnia will contribute to anxiety and also depression. So I think that's all for our presentation today.
All right. So, in order to actually conclude, right, our entire presentation, so therefore we know that noise pollution can actually have a significant impact on the sleep quality, and it also leads to insomnia from what we have known. So, relating to sleep disturbance. So, therefore, excessive noise from the sources such as traffic, as mentioned by Akila. Sorry, not Akila, Fatin. Sorry. Excessive noise from sources such as traffic, construction, neighbors, and also environmental factors. Okay, this can actually maintain sleep continuity and achieve restorative sleep cycles. So, with that being said, physiologically, how we all know how it actually can impact us. This noise disturbance triggers the body stress response, as what I explained previously, leading it to elevated levels of stress hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, and which can actually interfere with our maintenance of our sleep. And therefore, the noise inducens, arousals, and awakenings can actually also disturb the sleep continuity, right? So, with that being said, noise pollution can also impair our cognitive functioning, including attention, memory, decision-making skills as well. And last but not the least, emotionally, it can also impact us in terms of causing stress, depression, and mood disorders such as depressions and anxiety as well. So therefore, in order to, sorry, just give me a minute. I need to, okay, right. Therefore, all right, so as I was saying, so therefore, in conclusion, there are many sorts of implementive effectiveness that suggested by Mai just now, where our local authorities have actually taken or could take in which terms of community and policy levels, in levels of community and policy levels as well. And this may actually include such as soundproofing measures, white noise machine, earplugs, a few coping mechanisms as well. So therefore, last but not the least, we by prioritizing our sleep hygiene practices and creating a conductive sleep environment for all of us individually, it can actually mitigate and impact noise pollution on our sleep quality as well, and therefore and promote restful and regenerating sleep for all of us. So with that being said, that is all for our our online awareness talk on how noise pollution can actually lead to insomnia. And with that being said, I hope that all of you have actually gained a bit more of a better perspective on what actually insomnia is and how noise can actually lead to insomnia. And and also find it beneficial for all of you. So before you guys leave, I would like to actually ask all of you respondents to actually proceed to actually answer the post survey, as we would like to get your response as well on our talk that we have given. So Mike, can you just yes, all right. So I like everyone to actually go ahead and scan this QR code and also provide your responses to it. And thank you so much for taking your time to actually join our survey. It was very much appreciated. Thank you. So yes.